This man is Jonathan Oddi, Diddy's slave, if you catch my drift, okay? This interview was done in 2018, and we're gonna have a look at it right now. But it's something else.
Okay.
You don't have,
Found in the United States?
yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My
Just your
service
dog?
dog. Yeah. Diddys and Ross, which they good buddies. Okay. They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled.
So I'm assuming that would be Diddy, Rick Ross, and DJ Khaled. I would believe most of these things if you'd told me that on the street. Hey, Rick Ross, which, by the way, has stolen his whole identity from another man that was in prison when he was a prison guard. So the real Rick Ross was a cocaine dealer, or at least a drug dealer. And the guy who's now going by Rick Ross was actually a correctional officer. Fun fact.
Were you a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
DJ Khaled is all about being number one. He does everything. I'm number one. I'm number one. And we all know who Diddy is. This man looks slightly not there, which is why I assume it was all like thrown under the rug in 2018. But honestly, with all the hindsight, come on. You guys don't believe this?
They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter.
Was a
Okay.
who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah. Gotcha.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worry.
Hamas supporter.
All
Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I
This is actually extremely interesting because this corroborates Cassie's story as well. That she said that Diddy would hire male prostitutes to have intercourse with her while he was watching and dictating what was happening. So this really does corroborate the story that she said. And I think it looks terrible, honestly. Especially if this guy gets put on the stand.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had settlement with Sean. Okay. Against Donald Trump. Okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country. All right.
Again, even though there's a lot of spots of truth here, it doesn't mean that this man looks good while he's talking. Because all of these things that's being talked about, they're, let's be honest, crazy sounding. It just sounds crazy. Even though the Cassie thing makes sense, even though the Cassie thing sounds correct, or his general outlook and viewpoints on the people such as Khaled and Rick Ross would potentially be correct, he still sounds crazy.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself
Yeah.
these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5, okay?
I can't say I know any of these names particularly. I'm not very good with the Bad Boy record lawyers and law section of it, so I'll just take his word for it.
I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything, okay?
All right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the.
This is highly likely, especially corroborating it with all the Cassie's reports, and especially corroborating it with all the things that's come out of her saying that she'd been abused and had prostitutes, male prostitutes, being in a sense forced to have sex with her for Diddy's entertainment.
On the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right?
I'm gonna read that on there for you guys. In case you missed that, Oddi just claimed that he was a slave for Puff Daddy and Cassie Ventura, and that Sean Combs would touch himself while telling Oddi what to do with Cassie, as he, Puff Daddy, would conduct business by phone.
Herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But they did Mark Erebos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible I threw everything out. It's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible. I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead?
How interesting. How interesting wouldn't it have been if he just fucking plopped up a copy, just like, here you go. Here's the sex tape with Rick Ross, Diddy, and Brim. We number one. That would be wild.
Basically, what happens is the following. The hip-hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States. They move, you need to inform the DEA. They move all the dope, okay, all the dope on private jets.
He's literally saying, hey, yo, everybody's moving dope on private jets because they aren't screened. So you can get it from LA to Cali, no problem. And they're like, yeah. Doesn't this kind of sound like something you should check into? Even if he does look a bit crazy at this point?
Don't get screened by
customs.
by the
Yeah, anybody. Okay.
inside the United States, okay? They move what's called high-grade powder, MDMA. They move cocaine, and they move liquid cocaine in their bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine, I've drank it myself.
The problem is that we can kind of hear and see that he's drank it himself. And his demeanor does to some degree tell us that he is not the full capability of which he could have been at his age. The interrogation was actually something about him breaking in somewhere and trying to shoot Trump, I think it was. So they're trying to keep the conversation going that way. But he's giving out all this gold information that is now, 6 years later, come back to really show them that they should have been listening to some degree at least.
Sex with Diddy and Cassie, okay? It's not good. He drinks it all the time, all right? He calls it Gigi, but it's liquid cocaine.
All right.
How do I know there's a conspiracy against Trump? Because it's in the Illuminati card deck. He should look at it for himself.
But let me bring you back to Thursday night, Friday morning. Sure.
I'm sorry, but this is even worse because he's already been shot at twice this time. So is he literally saying, hey, the people are going to try to kill him? And they're kind of keep going? Like, because if that's the case, this is even wilder than I thought it was going to be the whole interview.
Help me understand you. How old are you?
I'm 42. I've been through all my life. I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, was he scared?
He settled $5 million with Diddy because he's scared. If this is true, and you're not saying this is damning, holy shit! You're saying, hey, this man paid me $5 million to shut my mouth. If his silence is worth $5 million?
David Gonzalez,
Uh-huh.
and we go to the gym every day. He has nothing to do with what happened Thursday. Though he's a witness, he's gotten shot at by them, and he's a witness that Ross came and threatened me at my house post-settlement. After we settled, Diddy sent Ross, and I asked him to go see if that was Ross and confirm his identity.
So,
Wait. So they settled, then they sent Rick Ross to intimidate this man so that not only the $5 million, but an intimidation tactic compiled together would make him afraid to not speak. So he's not worth 5 million, he's worth 5 million and threats. If this is true, wow.
so Gonzalez, he can back up what you're saying about P. Diddy and Ross and all that? Okay, all right. And you said Gonzalez didn't know anything about what you did? You didn't talk to him?
If this is true, if there's a Gonzalez that can corroborate this story and can tell them that all of these things actually happened, you know what? This story just became very, 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 very interesting, and I really hope that there's more to it. And on that note, check the video over here for a lot more of Diddy's controversies.